welcome to a sketchbook tour. This is actually my favorite kind of sketchbook. This is a brand that I get from Michaels, and they're perfect for tossing in a bag and carrying with you pretty much everywhere. The paper quality is pretty nice. It works best with, I would just say, pencils. You can do ballpoint pen, and then also just some light inking with like a micron or something like that. These stickers are stickers that I got from, I believe these are Cursed Curry, and then these two are from Crimrow, a good friend of mine. This one is Ramona and Isaac, characters of ours, and then this is my character Devin. I love him, and he's a goober. This is sort of a collaboration. I doodled this, and she loved it so much that she took my doodle and then turned it into a finished drawing, and then she gave me stickers as a gift. So this is March, and I forgot to write the end date. Probably like maybe February. No, March, that's backwards. Probably April, May, maybe June? I would have to guess June. So here we have Ramona again. Most of these I drew while I was at work or out and about. This is my friend's character Miru riding a chocobo. Her character actually is really, really invested in chocobos, really loves chocobos, and was doing some sick tricks. So I just doodled that while we were RPing. I actually had this at home at that point. I was trying to do some Persona 3 fan art, and I wasn't feeling it, so I just stopped. This is just a random boy. This is a mood. This is Dekel. This is one of my vampire characters, modern character. I love him very, very much. He's a very fancy man. And I never draw him because he's so fancy that I get intimidated to draw him. This is also a mood. This is just some stuff from Pinterest, I believe. So got a random dinosaur. Oh, I remember what this was. Okay, so I was talking to some friends and I was hanging out while they were playing Ark, and I was like, I don't know what to draw. And one of my friends was like, oh, draw a dinosaur eating a cheeseburger with mozzarella sticks on it. So I did all the grease. And then there's a Carno skull. I want to say this is supposed to be a T-Rex. This is Disco Elysium. One of my favorite ships ever. I really, really love these two, and I kind of love every potential dynamic between the two of them. I think them being very good friends is great. I think them being lovers is really cute. I think them being kind of like they don't get along, I think that's also really great. I just think these two, they're kind of my two favorite extremes, I guess. This is Avery. This is one of my Final Fantasy characters. He's a Viera. This is that Belladonna? I don't even remember. There's a random Gavin and a honeysuckle. We're organized here. We got owls, because owls are very awesome. And then, because I can't not draw monsters, here's a barn owl that is part snake. He's a long boy. Very mean. He has teeth. So this is a Pinterest situation. These are some characters from a story that I don't have fleshed out, but I was trying to get some character ideas so I'd at least have some direction. These are roleplay characters. This is Maggie and Manny. Also kind of story characters. These are actually the characters from the first comic I ever attempted, when I was in college. So if you ever hear me talking about I tried once a long time ago, these are the characters from that. And I do like them a lot. So currently I just roleplay them, and eventually I want to try to go back and do this story. This is Malathrin, an old D&D character of mine. Got some raven skulls and feather. This is a little comic. True story. Me and my friend Krim, we were just hanging out. And we were both just quietly playing, oh God, what's it called? My brain. Oh no. Oh no. Animal Crossing. And we were just trying to, get some stuff done. And she got like a really good price on her turnips. 505. And she just like the scream that she made. I thought that she had like hurt herself or something. I was so startled. And she was like, I'm like, what? And she's like, 505. And I was like, oh, I knew instantly what she meant. And that's her Kitty Dova. This is Dwight from Dead by Daylight. He's my favorite Dead by Daylight character. And I was drawing this between matches. The queue times are actually pretty good. I think the queue times kind of like fluctuate. But anyway, yeah. This was when the queue times are pretty good. So I was able to do like a little and then I would stop and then I did a little more and then I would stop. That's my hand. Can you see the resemblance? Oh my god. Midsummer. This is supposed to be an Alphonse Mucha study. And the drawing itself is fine, but I don't think it looks much like his artwork. He is definitely somebody that I really admire. I really love his artwork. Just some things on my desk. And a face. Who is that? Nobody. It's nobody. A bee on skis. A friend of mine was like, draw a bee on skis. I was like, okay. I'll draw a bee on skis. I drew some eyes just off of, I googled eyes, how to draw pretty eyes, and I just kind of copied, I don't know if you'd call it, I guess that's a study when you copy shit. And you try to figure out what you're doing. I just drew some dolls. I think these were from Ball Jointed Doll Pictures. This, I can't remember. I think this is supposed to be Chloe Moretz from a movie, and it doesn't look much like her. But, you know, we're learning here. Here is, so I try to get character ideas for stories, and I have a story in mind that I'm really excited to work on. And in one of my other sketchbook tours, you're going to see some other more refined sketches of certain characters. But these are some early sketches. Old-timey looking items that I think are, you know, maybe or maybe not gonna show up. Just I wanted to practice. There's that same character again, and a little monster of some kind. Just, you know, in some sewers, in some old-timey sewers. I don't know if this is gonna be a part of the final story, but I liked the idea. Here are goats, because goats are fantastic and weird, and I love them. These are all just Google image search for goats. Yes. Okay, so I bought some really, really nice inks. And this is Sydney Darling Harbor. I forget the brand name, but they have really nice inks. It's very watery and like, I don't know how well it picks up, but it pools a lot, where I finish, like, you see, I draw the Y like this, and at the end, it pools a lot. So that is fine. It just gives it its own sort of texture and own sort of coloring. This is 1 pass, 2 pass, and 3 pass, so it actually really builds up quite a bit. And I was like, well, what's green? I was like, plants. So I looked up some sage, and I just drew some sage. And then oxblood. I did a musk ox, and this is Diamine. I remember that because this is actually like probably my favorite ink ever. I think it is a gorgeous color. It is exactly the color I wanted it to be when I heard, oh, it's oxblood. My little swatch. I mean, what else is there to say? Some good stuff. The pooling on it isn't too bad. This is 1 pass and 2 pass, and there's barely a difference. So they're just two different, I guess, I don't know what you would call it, but like pigmentation, I guess. 2 different levels of pigmentation. Here's some more stuff for that comic I was talking about. She's blindfolded, and then here's some more of the weird sewer. This is actually just a building. I'm not sure it's from anything. Normally I like to try and draw buildings that are from stuff, because when I practice things that I kind of don't want to be practicing, like I don't like drawing buildings, I try to draw stuff that I really like already. So I picked a Victorian style home because they're my favorite. um, I'll draw like Silent Hills stuff and scenery. This was actually supposed to be a real place here, and I just sort of roughly outlined it, and then I was like, I'm done. I'm done. Here are some things. These are some cicadas, I believe. That's a cicada. That's a cicada. Yeah, these are cicadas. And then some vultures and a boat. I mean, it's more of a ship, but you know. That's that, what is it called? A death head moth or whatever. It's the one on the cover of Silence of the Lambs, because I'd like the spooky stuff. Here are some graves with eyeballs. Here's some, what are these? Oh, I just did like splooches of ink, and then I tried to turn them into things. And then I looked up Dracula's castle, and this picture came up, so I did that. These are gargoyles from Google. And I like gargoyles a lot. I think they're very cool. And then, I just drew a boy. I love him. Okay, here we go. This is something that actually goes back to, college when I started drawing these. And I don't draw these very often, just because I don't really have too many ideas for them, but I fleshed them out just like the littlest bit. These are a creature race that I made up, and they're supposed to be very gentle and nice. Let's see if I can read it out loud. Born from fallen trees and the dead of their kind, because I'm extra, has knowledge from ancestors, but usually not their memories. So instead of getting like direct memories, like, hey, there was a day that they went and did this thing, it's like whatever they learned that day, like that tree is poisonous, that plant is poisonous. They'll know that instinctively, but they won't have the memory of why they know that. No gender for obvious reasons. And if the reason isn't obvious, it's because I don't fucking care. They don't need a gender. It's me. So, they are gentle nature spirits, stand about 12 feet tall, soft voices, even-tempered, often morose, somber, and forlorn, has deep sympathy for all, commonly solitary, inquisitive, always searching. So that's what they are. I don't have a name for them. I don't really role play with them. I don't have any stories for them. This is what I do. I make characters, I make races, I make, creature, things like that. That's what I do. The stories are always, I wouldn't even say secondary. They're just, sometimes things that I design get stories. The story is the hard part. So maybe if I can think of something, you might see these guys. I feel like their story would be a little bit more fantastical. I tend to like horror and spooky and creepy. So who knows? Who knows what I'll do with them? Did a dinosaur. Did a bear. I did this lady. Or elf or person. And that's supposed to be the same. It might be a boy. Who cares? Doesn't matter. But I really like the way I did the hair on both of these doodles. I also really like the way the face came out. These are more bears. This is just some D&D doodles from an old game that I was in. It's Malathrin. Somebody got turned into a frog, and like I kept her ponytail and stuff like that. That's just a random bunny. This is actually from the other game I'm playing, which is currently on a hiatus. We're trying to fill in a spot. One of our members had to focus on schoolwork, so we're not continuing until we can like fill that spot. But this is Gorham, and Gorham's more of a tough, rough fisherman type. He's a fighter class, but we went to a fancy party, so of course I had to doodle him in his fancy party outfit. Here we go. Here it is. This is Sydney dressed up as Beetlejuice. I do love Beetlejuice a lot. Beetlejuice was one of my favorite cartoons as a kid, and I saw the movie, and then I was like, hell yeah. And there is a musical that I was supposed to go see. And it was a Christmas gift from my in-laws, and we were supposed to see it for our anniversary, me and my husband. And that's in April. And everything shut down in March. And there was like, oh, maybe things will open up and maybe you'll be able to get to see it. And I was like, I don't think so. I don't feel like it's gonna happen anytime soon. I'm sad about that, but like in compared to everything else, I mean, I'm not going to turn this into a video about the virus, but everything that's going on, me missing a musical, even if it's of like one of my favorite characters, it's fine. It's such a non-problem, but it definitely did bum me out. I drew Sydney, which is one of my favorite characters, is one of my favorite characters from this, from media, and yeah. I did a couple of others. I don't know if they're in here or not, but I did get on a little kick for a little while. Don't draw when tired. Everything was loose. This was actually really difficult for me to do. So looking at it now, it's actually fine. I'm actually pretty happy with it, but I was struggling so hard. But it's Phase Bar and Miru, and if you're a regular, you know these two. I love them so much. It's more Malathron. Tried to draw some food items, some cows with extra eyes. That was supposed to be a building of some kind, some garlic, some bottles, just, trying to diversify what I'm like drawing and getting good at. I think these actually came out kind of cute. Heather Mason. I love Heather Mason. Heather Mason's definitely my favorite Silent Hill character, closely followed by Harry Mason. It is a very thin margin. I love those two, like, so much. Did a nurse and a pyramid head, and they're both wearing masks. If you can see the end of that, he's wearing a mask. And then this is just a face of somebody. I think this is, oh, I know who this is. I don't remember, like, what her name is, but Senshi Stock has a model. She has a lot of tattoos. I don't know if she's, like, a model that works directly with them, or she's her own model and they collabed. But if you use Senshi Stock, you might know who that is. Oh my god, I was trying to draw trains, and then I realized trains are really hard. So I stopped. I was getting frustrated. And so whenever I say like, oh, so I stopped, it's mostly because I ran out of energy and I was getting frustrated, and the act of pursuing the art was not worth it after a while. I wasn't retaining information, I was just getting bitter. So that's when I say I stopped, it's just because I want to make sure when I'm practicing stuff, I'm having a good time. I think that's a big, important thing. And something that we don't talk about enough is like, yeah, you should practice, but you shouldn't like bust your ass too hard and make it so you don't enjoy yourself. You have to continue to enjoy yourself, because what's the point? There's a face. Okay. So I was just like, let me draw some cute stuff. I don't do cute like ever, and I struggle with making things look really cute, so every now and then I dip my toes into the cute pond. That doesn't make sense. So I was like, let me draw a cute little witch. I use a little highlighter and some ballpoint pen, then some tea kettles. Okay, so I'm glad I wrote this here because I wouldn't have remembered. This is from forever ago. I don't know the name of the phobia, but the hole phobia. It begins with a T, but if you don't like holes in things, the next page has, I don't even know, it's gonna be a surprise for all of us. But if you have any squick about holes, just close your eyes and I'll get through that page and I'll let you know when we go to the next page. And we're turning now. Oh god, it's gross. Okay, so I have a bike, an axolotl. I don't know what they're called. They're cute. They're cute little friends, and he has candles because he's part birthday cake. That's a cute thing. That was a mashup from my cousin-in-law, Foxy. She does those on her stream. Skull of some dinosaur, another skull, but here's the squick. This is supposed to be like a tardigrade, I think, a water bear. And then he has like a bird beak, and he has eggs coming out of his back. So if you like that kind of stuff, there it is. And if you don't like it, 1 second. we're on the next page. It's safe to look again if you have the whole phobia. These are just reference, like reference from the internet. I can't remember where. These aren't quite gesture drawings, but they are very quick. I do like how the fluid motion came through in a lot of these. I like making sure I can stay fluid and nice, and I'm also trying to use a lot of rounded edges when I draw, so I'm trying to do more hard edges. The hips are all pointy and stuff, except for that, you know, like these are the shapes that I tend to use where they're like soft. I can't even remember what it was I was watching. I was watching something and I was trying to like doodle the people from it, and like they came out so. Like they don't look anything like the people that I was drawing. Drawing actual real people is always really tough. These aren't real people. These were made up. But I think this one's a real person. I think that one might have been a real person. No. I don't even remember. Some of these are made up. I know for a fact that this one's made up because I was like, I just want to make the biggest floof for the hair. So, and then mushrooms. That is a Senshi stock. I recognize that pose. Just some little static, and I think that's just about it. Yeah, that's not even a page. That's just like the back of the book. So what a great way to end this sketchbook. Just there it is. Thank you for joining me. Have a great day, and don't be afraid to be creative.